Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I was never a person who liked to share her objects or stuff, right? So when I was younger, I never used to like share, and it's not like I had to share, I just didn't want to share, it's just me, if I buy it or my mom pay for it or something like that, I don't have to share, when I was like younger, when I was like in elementary, I had to share all of my stuff, like why did I have to share? Because the teacher told my mom that, oh, Venetia's not sharing her toys or object or pencil or stuff like that, right? And why do I have to share? And these people or these other kids needs to like tell their parents to like buy their stuff, right? For school, So that happened, As I was growing up, I never liked to share. I'm gonna tell you right now, I never liked to share. Not my toys, not my blanket, not my glasses, my umbrella, or any object I had, It was just me, because every time when I did share, they don't like give me back my thing in the good condition I gave to them, So I stopped sharing my stuff, Like if I was like, if it's like food or something, I don't like when people touch my food. It's just so stupid, So I was like, it was like for like summer job, right? And we was going to a restaurant or something like that. I can't remember which one it was, but it was like a restaurant with the other group of kids, right? So we were sitting at the table, right? And it was like loaf of breads in front of us, right? And I didn't want to be that kind of person who keep just I was that kind of person who like I'm okay to like eat in front of everybody, but they kept looking at me kind of funny, so I didn't eat none of the breads as our food was coming out of the kitchen, right? So I took up one bread, and I was eating it, right? And this kid, he actually took up all the breads and ate it, right? And I was like, who raised you, Like, share, I know I was not that kind of person who loved to share, but I'm okay if, like, food is, like, on the table. And I know it's, like, a lot of people on the, like, across from the table, or sitting at the table. I understand that people sitting at the table and you're supposed to share the little snacks or stuff on the table, right? Like the breads, right? But this one kid, he just took the whole bread and just started yamming it. Like, when I mean yamming it, I mean like eating it, And so the waiter came back and he gave us some new breads, right? So it was one on each table, right? And I guess the table was maybe like not that long, but it was like decent, And I think it was like four sets of breads around it, right? So they finished their breads, right? And then it was coming to our breads, right? Like I said, the breads on our side, it was for meant for us, not for the people who already ate their breads, So they start taking our breads, and I'm like, what is going on, So I snatched the breads from them, from their little hands, their grubby little hands, put it back on our table, And some of the kids on my table, didn't want to eat it, right? And I was like, whatever, So I'm eating the breads because I'm waiting for my food to be finished, to be done, and brought up to me, right? So I'm waiting, and they're looking at me, they're like, look at Venetia. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm just eating some loaf of breads, And they just kept looking at me like, and I don't know if they was kind of looking at me like, why are you eating so much bread, Like, bread is right there and it's like on our side. Why are you not eating bread, Cynthia, Like, you should eat some bread because you look like you need some food in your body, right? So I looked at her and she was like looking at me like, you shouldn't be eating so much bread, And I was like, is my food out here to be eaten? I don't think so. So they kept doing that, and apparently our breads was done, and then the waiter came back and gave us some new breads, right? But now our food is like coming out and being put in front of us, right? So I'm eating my food, right? And I order, I think it was like a chicken sandwich or something like that. I can't remember if it was chicken or beef. I can't remember. So I was eating that, right? And they was looking at me, and I'm putting my pickle into my sandwich, right? And they was like looking at me like, you shouldn't eat so much, you know? And I was like, they only gave you like two sandwich, you know? Like they cut the sandwich in half, right? And they looking at me like, oh, Venetia's such a pig, you know, eating all of her sandwich, you know? And I'm looking at them like I have sisters, you know, and I don't like to be sharing, you know, and they be grubbing just like y'all is, you know. And usually for me, I always have to hold my food because my sister be always want to take it, right? So to me, this is normal, right? Behavior, right? I'm eating my food and I'm eating some bread, right? And they acting like, oh, it looks like Venetia already have money, you know, because they saw the house and everything like that. They think that, oh, Venetia don't need to eat all of her food, you know, so we won't take it, right? So I'm like, bitch, it don't work like that, you know? Like, I order my food and I'm gonna eat it, you know? Like, why y'all acting like I shouldn't eat my food and I order it, right? You acting like I should give you my food or half of my food, you know? And I always like that. I hate when people act like that, you know? That, oh, since Benicia have like this and that, you know, she shouldn't be eating this or she shouldn't have these kind of things, right? And I always like think to myself, like, why you acting like this, you know? Like, you shouldn't be acting like this. Like you is you, you know, and I'm me, you know, and I want to be like what I am, you know. I'm not that kind of person who share, but I will share because I feel like it. Like sometimes I like to share. Sometimes I like to share and sometimes I do not, you know. It's like certain days I like to share and some days I don't. Cuz I don't have to, you know. Cuz I don't have to. So, I did that, right? And I remember one time after that, it was like it was some I don't remember how it was, but when I was in school, you know, with them, you know, they had like a pizza day, you know, and they usually give us like two slices, right? And they always look at me like, "Are you gonna finish your two pizza?" You know, and I look at them like, "What is wrong with you? Who raised you? Like, is your parents even providing for you, or your parents even like giving you food to eat? Why you always coming to me like I'm not gonna eat all my food? You know, like." If you want like extra food, you should go to like the vending machine, you know. And I'd be always looking like what is your parents even like giving you food? Because it seems like they not. That's why you always ask for my food. And I'm not that kind of person who like send you away sometimes, you know. Because I love to share sometimes. Sometimes I like to share. So other times I be sharing my food, you know. So I give them like sometimes I like when I have like food to like eat, you know, I always give them like because one time I was like eating like I think it was a Pop Tart, you know, it was that chocolate Pop Tart, right? And they always ask me, Venetia, can I get some of your food, you know? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know, I give it to them, right? And if they like say, oh, I don't have this much change, but I want like pizza, you know, so I always give them like change and stuff like that. But they act like I always have money to be for providing for them like I'm their parent or I'm their mother, you know, and it's not like that, you know. I remember this one time I try to be like that, you know, but I was not like that kind of kid who's like, oh, Cynthia, you might be my mom for all these years, right? So when you get food, you have to give me some, you know. It's not even like that, you know, because I usually do get some food from my friends, you know, but I always return the favor, you know. It's not like, oh, Venetia always like try to take some of their food and not like give them back some of my food towards them, you know. It's never like that, you know. I always like to share, but when you like I don't know how to say it. Like if you like you don't like take me as a good person or anything like that. You can take me whoever you want to take me, you guys. I don't really care how y'all think I am, you know, or how I perceive myself on YouTube because you're only seeing a little glimpse, you know. It's not like a whole chapter you seen of my life, right? So you shouldn't like even like judge me how I am. That's how I be feeling when I was like in school, you know. They judge me because like certain kind of things I have or certain kind of things I have or certain kind of things I be doing in my life, you know. So I guess if you like these kind of stories, like comment down below, like and subscribe, turn your notifications. I see you later. Bye.